sprays, withholding periods, Jim?
Yeah, well, this is the time of the year, Rob, where we are using some insecticides, especially for aphid and mite, and also that leaf roller, especially in apples. But the growers have got to really check where we are in terms of withholding periods. And a number of the materials that are used out there quite regularly have had changes, and their actual withholding periods are longer. So instead of being, say, 30 days last year, it could be 40, 45 days. So you've got to estimate when you're going to start harvesting. But say if you're going to start harvesting a crop, for instance, on the 2nd of January next year, you're going to have to stop spraying that crop with an insecticide, especially next Tuesday. So you've got to be really careful.
Yeah. But how do you know when you're going to start picking?
It's a guesstimation, and you look at if it's an apple, you look at the fruitlet and say, yeah, well that should be another 90 days away, or whatever the figure may be. Yeah. And so it's a pure guesstimate. This year, I remember I mentioned a couple of months ago, or a month or so ago, that how the flowering was behind by about 2.5 weeks. End of flowering, 3 or 4 days behind normal time. So Mother Nature's already caught up, probably about 1.5 weeks. By harvest, we are saying, if you look at blackcurrant growers or berry growers especially, the raspberry growers and the strawberry growers are a bit worried that maybe they're not going to have the fruit peaking at Christmas time, which they really do want, especially raspberries. And I think they will. Some of the varieties allow that to happen. But most of that sort of softer fruit will come in post-Christmas, if not post-New Year, because it's just not going to be ready, and it's been slow growing. And it's the cool conditions that have been doing that. But you can't do anything about it.
No, you can't.
It's what Mother Nature deals up. But I mean, you can judge it about now and say, well, okay, that strawberry's got the inset in the flower is say 3 millimetres. You can put a day on that. So, well, that's going to be 45 days, and we'll be eating that strawberry. So you count out 45 days. Oh, yeah, it's going to come in just on Christmas. So that particular variety. So yeah, there are ways of doing this, but you can't do anything about Mother Nature. Actually, she's a very strong lady, and
she is.
She's proven her.
She's got a warped sense of humour.
She's got a very warped sense of humour in North Canterbury with Kaikoura Hill. Yeah. No doubt about that. And today I was just talking to a grower up in Nelson. It's absolutely pelting down up there, and the rain has taken out a bridge between Blenheim and Nelson, so they can't even get from Blenheim to Nelson at the moment either. Which goes to show the vulnerability our country has in respect of, because a lot of horticultural crops are processed in Nelson, but they can be grown in the greater parts of the South Island. Now, at the moment, the only way you can get fresh fruit that needs to be processed is route it through the west coast, and that takes a hell of a lot longer. And it could be just long enough or too long for the fruit to last that long, to be into the factory in the top condition.
So you have to have chilled trucks?
Some of the guys do have chilled trucks, and that's quite good. But if we have a big earthquake, we haven't got the chillers going, have we? Not on the trucks we have, but not on the, you can't go on. I can remember we discussed it where I said to a company that I worked for, what happens if the Whiteborough Bridge blows out right in the middle of harvest? What are we going to do? Oh, we'll just put the fruit in chillers. I said, but no, the chillers are already blown out. There's no capacity, 1, and 2, they're not working. Righto. So, strategically, you've got to think about these things. And to be honest, I was at a conference just the other day, and there was 10 of us in the room. We were talking about strategic planning around processing of fruit. And I said, well, okay, let's say we have an earthquake on the 1st of January, and it's near the factory. So the factory's not only is it damaged, but the road's getting to the factory damaged too. What's plan B?
Well, how can you have a plan B?
Well, I mean, you must have a relationship with at least 2 factories, or have a relationship with a freezing company that's going to be further away, and store the fruit until such time as the capacity can be taken up. I mean, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare.
But it's not if, it's when.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think this week's proven that once again to us, and I feel for those people up in Kaikoura. We've all been through it down here in Christchurch. It was really interesting. Most of those guys came from Auckland, and I said, well, how many of you got your earthquake kits at home? There was 2 of us, one being me and another guy, out of those 10 people.
Scary stuff, Jim. But you listened, which is great. Jim, thank you very much indeed.